Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the international webinar.
Thank you, Dr. Halima. Thank you very much. I'm so grateful to you.
And we are on time. 4 o'clock, we are going to start our program. But before that, just let me give them some tips to all the participants here. So today we are going to have many informative sessions, and we have the guests from different countries. We have the guest from UAE, Mr. Ratandeep Suravanshi. Then we have the guest from Singapore, Miss Deblina Saha. Then we have the guest from Nigeria, Professor Agbo. And then we have our chief guest, Mr. Anilswarup ji. And we have our keynote speaker, Brigadier Sushilbhasin ji, who is on time and who is among us. This is the schedule and program for today. It's already shared with all the participants. You are already aware of this. And the most important aspect of today's program is the award to be conferred to the deserving teachers. 90 teachers applied for this award, and out of that, 29 teachers have been selected by the juries to be given this Star Digi Teachers Award. And this award will be given at the end of this program. These are the teachers who have conducted online classes, and they were innovative in conducting the classes. They have developed their own means and ways, and they find their means, and they have very effectively conducted the classes. Now we are going to have innovation competition. The last date is 6 October. Kindly encourage your children to participate in this. And with this, I welcome to all the participants to the international webinar on digital learning and leadership. So without wasting much of our time, our keynote speaker, Brigadier sushilbhasin ji is among us, who is a renowned speaker, and his presence here is making a lot of difference. And I know that how difficult it is to invite him in the programs, but I am very much thankful to Almighty that he has given me the opportunity to interact with the Brigadier Sushilbhasin ji. And then he was so generous and kind to accept my invitation. And today he is among us on time. He is the thought leader and author of many renowned books, bestsellers, and he is time investment strategist. And I have attended his one of the program, and I was really so impressed because the way he ignite our minds is really mind blowing. So I'm so sorry, Brigadier Sushilbhasin ji, I request you to kindly take this session, and you have 35 minutes time with you, and so nice of you to grace this occasion and to be with us. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I am so grateful to all of you for this opportunity. And as she said, without wasting any time, let's go straight. You still haven't made me the co-host. I can't share my screen as yet.
Just give me, sir, 1 minute. Yes, sir. Now you are.
It is okay. Now it is. Now it is giving me the chance. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am extremely grateful to Dr. Halima Sadia for being so gracious in inviting me to this program. She was thanking me, and I think I need to thank her for this opportunity. I am extremely grateful to the chief guest, Mr. Anil Swarup, for being here and gracing the occasion. And so am I grateful to all the speakers who are going to add value, and I'm going to be learning a lot from them. I was told that you are required for half an hour, but I said, no, I will be there till the end because I'm not here to only talk and teach. I'm here to learn and listen. Uh, that is a very important part of any teacher. If you are a teacher, you have to be first a learner, and you have to be a learner all your life, right? So I'll be there throughout, and I'll be very happy to listen to all the other speakers as well. I am extremely, extremely grateful to each and every participant here, because if we were all speakers here and there was no participant, this program would be of no use. So thank you very much, dear participants, for investing 30 minutes of your time. 30 minutes of your time you're giving us. I want to thank you for this gift of time. You know, somebody asked me, what is time? And I said, time is life. When you give me 30 minutes of your time, you actually give me 30 minutes of your life. And I'm so grateful because your life is so precious. And out of that, you took out 30 minutes and decided or chose to listen to me. So that makes me feel absolutely grateful. Now, I want to ask you if you know what this is. Can somebody tell me what is this? These are pom-poms, and I want all of you to unmute your mics if you can, because you will understand now that this is going to be a different class. It is going to be a master class with a difference. And we start with some noise, some energy. And can we have all of you to
Sir, please unmute yourself now. They all have been given permission to unmute.
Okay. So can I hear everyone saying pom
Pom
pom pom
pom
pom
pom
pom
pom
pom
pom
pom
pom
pom
pom
pom
pom
pom?
pom
And I
pom
want high energy, high energy.
pom
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 pom pom pom pom pom.
pom pom
Ratnadeep, you're not doing it. I can see you. No, you're not doing it. You
pom
see?
pom pom
Uh,
pom pom
no,
pom
I'm
pom
also
pom
asking you to do this. I'm also asking you to do this.
pom 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 pom.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I see Narendra here. Thank you, Narendra. See, when I'm asking you to do this, there's a deliberate exercise. And why am I asking you to do that? Firstly, instead of doing this, we do this. We call it the online applause, right? The second thing is that I'm asking you to do this and all because I want your fingers to get exercised, because I want participation in this. And when I'm going to ask you questions, you're going to be writing in the chat box. So you need to exercise your fingers, right? So let's move forward. Firstly, I want to know, we just saw your energy levels. I heard some pom-pom and good noise. Now I want to know, how are you feeling right now? And to know how you're feeling, I want you to go to your mobile phones, your uh, laptops, and type there menti.com. Menti.com. And write in the chat box if you have ever heard of this and are you used to it. If you know, write Menti, and if you are not aware of it, write no. Right? So I want to see in the chat box how many of you know about Menti and how many. So I can see Menti. Somebody said no. Zarina said no. Okay. More. I want more. Okay. So many people have known Menti. So that's not great fun. Okay. No. Shaida said no. Yeah. Okay. And then I can see a lot of no's also. So here we go. And when you go to menti.com, please use this code. He'll ask you for a code. Please write this code and tell me what happens. Tell me what happens when you write this code. Can somebody tell me what happens when you write this code? Oh, so I can see voting has started and I can see some participation. So somebody is stressed. I don't know why. Tired, anxious, stressed, and tired. Monday afternoon. Yesterday was Sunday and I thought people could be tired, but not on a Monday. I don't know why. Okay, anxious, stressed, and tired. Who else? Let's see some more. Yeah, excited. Yeah, learning. Happy. That's very good. Let's see some more emotions coming up. Some more feelings coming up. Only 2 people have voted out of 66. Okay, I got the third one now and the fourth one. Very good. Now it's adding up 6. 6 votes have come. Open to new learning, enhanced, energetic, anxious, learning, happy, excited, energized, stressed. We'll talk about the stress also a little. We'll talk about stress. Okay, why are you stressed? Okay, so I'm going to give you another 30 seconds. 7 people have voted. I certainly wanted more participation because we have 66 people, and out of 66, we can't have only 9 people voted so far. Okay, so you can get the mood of the people because I will always like to know how is my audience today? How are they? And somebody is doing annotation here. Kindly don't do it. That'll be good for all of us if you don't annotate. And somebody who did that, can you please clear the screen? Okay, so I've cleared the screen and now I would like you not disable. Okay, so I've disabled and now you'll not be able to annotate. Yeah, luckily Zoom has given some control so I can still control. Okay, great. So I'm going to go further. We have only 10 people who have voted. Have a look at what the mood of the room is. So other than 1 or 2 people who are stressed and all, I think it's pretty good. I've taken a screenshot. Take a screenshot of this if you want to remember how you felt when we did this session. Let's go further. And here I want to talk about my story. Now, is it okay for you if I tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing and a little bit about bringing a context to today's talk? So please write in the chat box if you permit me to tell you my story. Just write story. Write story if you are keen to listen to my story. Okay, yeah, so I'm hearing most welcome. Story, yes, story. Okay. So I was serving the army and I served the army for 34 years, Indian Army. And in 2002, I was asked to do, in addition to my duties, the chairman of Army School, Bareilly. And in that school, I was told when I joined that the school was in a mess. And when I said, why is it in a mess? My boss told me that it was because for 2 years, there was no principal. 5 principals had come and gone, and they were there for very little time, and therefore there was no continuity. It's a long story. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I will tell you that I got so involved with the children. I got so fascinated by them, and I got so committed to making the change, school change, that ultimately uh, I found the purpose of my life. I came home and told my wife that I'm going to leave the army and do something for children. So in the chat box, I've given you a link of a video which gives you this story incomplete. But I left the army in 2004 and started working on youth empowerment. And what I've been able to do is in the last 15 years, and if I include those 2 years of Bareilly, then it'd be 17 years, I have been able to impact the lives of about 25 to 30,000 children. I've also been able to impact the life of the children through 160 principals, about 4 to 5,000 teachers, and of course, children directly. And sorry, and about 5,000 parents. So that has been the way I've been doing things. Now, another thing I want to tell you is that right now I am impacting the lives of children through a podcast which is coming on Spotify, and it's called Zindagi Unplugged. It is in English and Hindi. So it's very good for those who are comfortable in both the languages or whatever. But yes, anyone who doesn't know Hindi primarily may not enjoy that as much. Okay. So I'm going to put that link in the chat box also. Right. Now, as yeah, somebody said something. Okay. Right. So both the links are there in the chat box. Now I'll tell you that I was in Dubai in February 2020, and I just saw that there were some people wearing masks. There were some people talking about COVID. And really speaking, Corona was a new word to me that time. We had just heard about it, but we knew something happened in China. And in India, a lot of people were saying, oh, that won't happen in India because our climate is such and Indians are very immune. So this is not for us, Until the beginning of March, we realized that things were getting hot, and I realized that our trainings were getting cancelled, our speaking assignments were getting cancelled, and world over, trainers and speakers were finding their businesses getting going down. I asked my team to get together. We reset our goals. We decided that what we had decided to do by June, we'll not be able to do. And I realized something, that I need to immediately reinvent myself and come on to face the reality, embrace the reality of COVID-19 and start working on it. I think all of us who did that early have done well, and some people are still struggling. What we need to look at is the new emerging world. The world that we saw emerging that time, and now it is a little more clear than that time. It was not clear at all that time, but now you can see the trend, you can see the changes happening. But one thing is for sure, that the world that emerges after this will be a different world. If you're not prepared for it even now, there's already 6 months since we have been facing that. There's no time for any further delay. You have to act now. As teachers, as educators, we have to open up our mind and unlearn to relearn. We have noticed that in all crises in history, there has been a trend. And the trend is that whenever we got into a crisis, we emerged stronger, we emerged better. Every time you had a crisis, whether it was World War I and II, whether it was 9/11, 26/11, or recession of 2008, when we came out of it, we were socially, economically better than what we were when we went in. So therefore, we need to be prepared for the upswing, because the life after Corona is going to be probably better or at least different. And therefore, we need not to bounce back to February. We have to bounce forward, and bounce forward to what we can imagine the world to be in the future. We are all influencers. We as teachers, as educators, we are communicators and influencers, and we need to make sure that we are um, a voice of hope for the people. We need to bring in positivity and hope in people. We need to understand that it's time for us to it is time for us to reboot ourselves, to relearn. It is time for us to reinvest, reflect, and review what's happening in our life, and go on to reinvent, redesign, reposition ourselves, repackage our programs, reimagine, relive, and most importantly, recalibrate. Very important. Now we have to understand that we have always been good teachers. We know our job. We know how to teach. We know how to communicate. But what has happened is Mr. COVID has brought another method. Now you can't do it the way you were doing. You can't have children sitting in the classroom the way they were doing that. So you have to find a different way, and therefore you have to get onto online comfort. We just heard Dr. Halima talk about the 89 teachers who have got awards, and obviously, she said there were many more who applied for it, which means that people have very quickly been able to adapt themselves. And that's the word, adaptation. We have been able to adapt ourselves to online comfort, make our students also comfortable online, and we have had to go through something which I call digital mindset. Now, when you accept the change, embrace the change, and accept the digital mindset, then the change happens. But really speaking, if you ask me, not much transformation happens with the mind. So you have to actually change your digital heart set, because the change, the transformation happens from the heart, not from the mind. So I hope the first thing I would like to say today to all of you, and if you have a uh, paper and pencil, you could write some of these things that will be of use to you. So could I ask everyone who agrees with me on this, whatever I've said, to write in the chat box heart set, or just write heart, and I'll understand that transformation happens from the heart, not from the mind. So let me see, we are 90 people now. Let me see how many of us are agreeing with my heart set that transformation happens from the heart. Yeah, I can hear, I can see Zarina, Mohammed, Pooja, Dhawan, Dr. Halima. Okay, now it's scrolling quite fast. Saida Begum, Nisar Fahim. Okay, so a lot of people are agreeing with me. Thank you for that. The world that emerges now will neither be a digital world nor a physical world. It'll be a combination of a digi-fizzy world, and we will have to be prepared for that. The three things that will really help us, in this to be prepared for the digital physical world are creativity, imagination, and innovation. These are the three things that are going to help us. And let us use them ourselves, apply them in our own lives, as also teach these to our students. So when the going gets tough, what happens? Can somebody complete it for me and not those who have already attended my workshop? Yeah, when the going gets tough, what happens? Can somebody tell me on the mic? Or write it in the chat box. When the going gets tough, what happens? The tough go online, the tough go virtual. So all of us who have been able to go virtual is damn good. All those who are not will have to do that. Sooner the better. Now let me tell you that we are all in a business of transformation. We are in a business of transformation. We are here to transform the lives of our students. We are here to transform the way they think, the way they feel, the way they behave, and ultimately the way they act. We need to do that. And as agents of transformation, or being in the business of transformation, we need to learn that we are all communicators. Sorry for my spelling there, I is missing. We are all communicators. And when we talk of communication, we say that we have some knowledge, we have some matter which we want to convey, communicate to people. But there is, communication is not enough. So let's say I know a subject very well. Let me take the example of yoga, that okay, I'm a good yogic instructor, yoga teacher, and I communicate to you and you understand every bit of what I am saying. You've understood that. But if I tell you about yoga and you are able to get on and start doing yoga tomorrow, then I am an influencer. And that's what we need to be. So let's distinguish between the fact that we are not communicators, we are influencers. We are influencers, and we need to upgrade ourselves from communicators and learn the art of influencing. We have to make sure that we can engage our students. We need to engage them, because particularly in the digital world, now that we are facing a distancing, we are on our laptops and mobile phones. We have got a different way of communication and influencing. So we need to engage our students. We have to create an impact on them. We need to create impact on them through our influencing on the digital media. And that is what is going to create a challenge for all of us. The next is that we know that people are today uh, absolutely short of attention spans. The shrinking micro attention spans have become a challenge for all educators. But those educators who understand this and can grab the attention of the students are the ones who succeed. And here, let me tell you, I heard a TED talk some time back, and I heard something very good by one of the very, very good TEDx speakers, a teacher, who said that all of us in our lives have about or face or experience about 40 to 50 teachers in our complete schooling career. But out of that, you only remember about 4 to 5 to 6. You don't remember everyone. And the difference between the two, the ones you remember and the ones you don't, and that would be a awakening and a lesson for many educators here, that there are some educators, some teachers who are focusing on the syllabus. They are focusing on making sure that you complete your syllabus, understand things well, and get your marks. And the day you write your exam and you get your 80, 90, 100% marks, your contract, your mental contract, your agreement, or your relationship between the teacher and the student is over. But those who taught us values of life, those who made us not go beyond the subject and make people or make students learn values and imbibe values of life, they are the ones who are remembered all your life. You need to see that students start participating. Students participate in your program. So you have to create your virtual programs in which all this happens. We have designed a program and I call it Hive. Okay, Hive is high impact virtual engagement. This has become necessary because learners today, students today, do not pay attention when information is presented in a manner that is boring, that is stale, that is monotonous, and which is neither interesting nor impactful. Tell me, why would somebody come to you on your laptop and listen to you if he could get the same material on a YouTube video? Why would he come to you, right? Just give me a second. I think my laptop battery is getting down. Just a second. Sorry for that. Sorry for that interruption. Yeah, okay. So let's go further and see how do we do that. So we need to create a learning environment, and the learning environment that we want to create is a safe and positive learning environment on the online platform, because this picture that you see is now not going to be a reality for quite some time. So we need to create a rapport, online rapport with our students. We have to see how we can pay personal attention to our students. We need to see how we can create effective learning opportunities, collaborative learning. We have to have some type of understanding where the children agree to the boundaries. Don't call them rules, but have guidelines. Okay, I call them wow, way of working. So I tell my students, what's a wow? And they understand that better. Okay, we need to know what is their expectation, what are they looking for. We need to be facilitators more than teachers. We need to create a safe learning environment so that they are open to asking questions, that they will not be scolded or they will not be judged. They will not be told what a stupid thing you are asking. And then we need to give them a variety of ways of how we are going to be imparting instructions. Now, how do I engage people? Because in Hive, it is high impact virtual engagement. I need to have engagement. I need to create impact. Okay, how do I do that? So to engage, first we have to have energy. Like if you saw, I started with that pom-pom and all. Create energy in the room, because if you are not feeling energetic as a trainer, as a teacher, if you are not highly passionate, if you lack energy, you will not be able to create energy in the classroom. How many of you agree with me? Can I see you typing in the chat box? Do you agree that you need to be energetic in the classroom? Just say yes if you agree. Yeah. Okay. Right. So one is energy. The second thing you need to do for engagement is keep asking questions. Keep asking questions and allow them to answer, because they like to answer. Okay. You have to see that there is participation and there are responses, like you are responding to in the chat box right now. You have to see how children respond to you. Whether you use a chat box, you use the mic, depending on the size of your audience, the environment you are operating in, and the type of class that you're holding. Then you need to create some discussions. And in my programs, I make use of this Zoom feature called breakout rooms, where you send people into small rooms, small groups into various rooms, and there they discuss something, and then they come out, and we say every room should come out with 2 good ideas that you discussed. And then if there are 5 rooms, we have 10 ideas to discuss in the general room. This creates a lot of vibration, and this creates a lot of energy in the room. We have to give them a variety of things, right? And then fun, music, and color are the 3 things that everyone likes, and you must see if you can have those in your learning methods. Now, because we are doing it online, we have to see how are you being perceived by people? How are you being seen by people? When I am, say if I'm looking at your video right now, I'm looking at somebody's video here. Now, do you think I'm looking into your eyes? That is my eye contact that I was taught. But tell me, write in the chat box if you think I am looking at you. Just tell me if you think I'm looking at you. Am I looking at you? I'm not getting answers. Do you think I'm looking at you now? No. Yes. Sharika said no. Somebody's saying yes, no. I don't think I'm looking at you, because I'm not looking at you right now, because I'm looking at your picture. But now, am I looking at you? Please tell me now, am I looking at you? So in the online thing, you have to look into the camera. It takes a little time to understand that you are attracted to look at the video, but the video is not in the camera. Okay, so you will get an idea that you have to look, how are you being perceived by the audience? How are you dressed up? How's your sound? See, when I was on the stage or in a classroom, nobody noticed my mustache. But now people say your mustache on one side was smaller than the other side. Why? Because on the screen, which is 16 by 9, that's my world now, everything is seen more clearly. How's my sound? Am I using a mic? Am I clear, or is my sound breaking? How's my lighting? Am I clearly seen? Please make sure that you don't have light behind you. Okay, you must have light only in front of you. So when you're sitting in front of a window, the other people see you as a ghost, because they don't see you at all. They only see the light, and you are seen only as a shadow. So you have to see how your background is and things like that. So this is the way you have to adjust yourself to the online environment. Now we are doing a program called Train the Online Trainer. And this is my co-facilitator you see in the picture called Jogesh. And here, see what I am doing. I am using my mobile phone on a holder where I can now write something, I can draw. So what is lying on the table is seen by the students on another. So I'm another user. I log in from two. I log in from my laptop, I log in from my mobile, and I use this. So you will have to do a lot of learning on various tools, various technologies, various equipment to make your online learning very, very interesting. We have worked 21 elements, and they are the minimum. We have more. 21 elements of making your programs interesting. And all those who want to see that on this Sunday, you will have it. We'll have this program from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And those who want, I'll put the link in the chat box. Come and see what we are talking about. Now, we use various platforms, and I'm just giving you a glimpse of a few of them. This is something called Mural, where you go into breakout rooms and I give different colored sticky notes to everyone, and you can see everyone gets to write. And then we come back to the general room, and you have all, let's say if there were 9 people in each room, you have 36 ideas to discuss here. We also use a facilitation process called divergence convergence, where 100 odd ideas in the room can be distilled into 4 most important and popular ideas. Now, this is where you create engagement, humor, and all. So one day when I found the energy level going down, I asked all my participants to quickly, I said, I'll give you 5 minutes. You have to wear a paper cap, and your name must be written on the paper cap. So everyone had to improvise. They had to run around, make this. I do a lot of activities where people have to put a sticky note on the wall, for example, and I tell them you can use your family members, and you'll see people doing that. So we can create engagement. Here was an activity where anyone who made a mistake had to pull his ears. So see everyone pulling ears here. Okay, this is the way you can use engagement. Now, these are icebreakers, activities, and energizers. So we have many activities, energizers, and icebreakers that can create attention with people. And this is another icebreaker that we use, which is called, this is like many of them I have, but this is one where everyone has to identify what is the difference between the top picture and the bottom picture. So I would like to know if you found this session a little engaging and interesting. If you did, please write in the chat box your 3 most important takeaways. What did you think was valuable today? So if there's anything valuable that you found, please write in the chat box, and that will be a great favor to me, because I'll learn that which ones sounded good to you. I would also like to ask you that on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this session? 1 if it was low and boring, and 10 if it was very impactful and interesting. So I'll be very happy if you do that. And all those who would like to attend our program to understand what we are doing, we will be able to give you. Thank you very much. I can see some 10s coming up. Thank you very much. That gives me a lot of encouragement. And I also want to know your 3 takeaways. That will be very good for me. Somebody writes 20. Mehboob Begum. Thank you very much, ma'am. But yes, 10 would be enough for me to understand that. So I'm very, very happy to be here. And thank you very much. I think I finished just on time. I've become under pressure because if I don't finish on time, people say, oh, you are a time investment strategist and you don't keep care of the time. And I think, Dr. Halima, if you give me 35 minutes, I'm still within, I think I still have another 3-4 minutes because, okay. So I have finished, but if there are any questions and if there's time for any questions, I can answer. Otherwise, thank you very much. And I will like to give all of you a gift. And the gift will be a a copy of my doodles of the book called Million Dollar Second. So I have written this book called Million Dollar Second, which is on published by CNBC, and it is on Amazon. If you would like to have a look at what it looks like, there is an ebook which has all the 10 chapters divided into just 10 pictures. So one picture, one doodle actually gives you a glimpse of one chapter. Okay. And thank you very much. I'll be very, very happy to get your responses. Any questions if there's time? Otherwise, I have finished. Jai Hind and thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It was really very encouraging and informative session. And I know that there are many, many comments for you, and uh, they keep writing, but we have to move on, and we have to invite the second speaker.
Yeah, please go. Yeah.
So just allow me to invite the next speaker. Suryavanshi Ratandeep is the Vice Principal of Woodland Park School in Ajman. And I know that Suryavanshi Deep is a very dynamic person, and he is a very keen learner. And I know him since last, I think, 7-8 years when I was in Dubai, and he was working with me over there. And I have seen him, how he has groomed himself and how he has learned in the field of education. And nowadays he is considered as one of the young educators. So Mr. Ratandeep, I request you to kindly start your session, and I'll make you the co-host so that you can share your presentation.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you. So since being in education sector, it's my most important duty to wish all my fraternity, uh, all the teachers, those are present, happy Teachers Day. And to start with it, I would like to start thankful to Dr. Halima Sadia. Being one of the junior colleague to her, she used to always give us and check the potential and give us the opportunity to grow. And that is the result that we were some of the teachers working with her, now groomed as a vice principals and headmasters of other schools. Brigadier Sir, Jai Hind, first of all. I am taking this proud to say that I am also from the family background of the army. My maternal uncle was one of the brigadier, dad was soldier. So sharing this dais, holy dais with you, I feel a different proud at this point of time, sir. Jai Hind. Being NCC candidate, I know that I should not sit before you, but allow me to sit and talk today. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much, Halima ma'am, and all the members. Okay, sir has given a lot of information, and sir, truly admirable. I was, linking the things, how the things were changed, and the way you present before us was a scientific way, how we change it. But let me take you all quickly before I start my presentation. I need to, give you this gist. All the time in education sector, when since I landed into this, we had a use of this something called technological tools, ICT, and all other materials were there in little shape. All teachers will be agree with me. But all of a sudden, when the COVID-19 stuck, that all these elements were so important that without that the education is not possible. Now the most important thing, that before engaging the student, how to skillful the teachers, so that the teachers can take this entire journey ahead seamlessly. So my big challenge was that, fortunately, in my school, when we started using this online teaching 18 months before the COVID stuck to the world. So that was a blessing in disguise for me. And then we just had to deliver it that to the lower classes. That was our journey. But having taken this challenge, the biggest challenge I faced personally also, that when it comes to the professional personal life, I think being a teacher fraternity, yes, though it looks like a 7 working hours, they need to work at least 14 hours to normal face-to-face classes. But in the COVID time, I think teacher worked 25 hours out of 24 hours. That was the situation. It's like a day and night, skillful, get knowledge yourself, and then go and deliver. Again, come get knowledge on something else and get going. So this was the time where the teacher had a very tough time. Now see how the inertia of the mind is changed. Now if I ask my teacher, please come to the school, we will start face to face. They said, no, we don't want to come. This is the right platform that world need. So this is the inertia that world is into now. And definitely, as Brigadier Sir said, new normal is already there in the world. It's existing. We need to be a part of it. Honest trial as a teacher. If you are not skillful, definitely will not be in the training. Okay, having said this, what my hope is today, like I need to share, as rightly said by Martin Luther King, if you can't fly, you need to. And this is, first time I heard this word from my principal sitting there, Dr. Halima Sadia. She gave me the, if you can't fly, you have to run. If you can't run, you have to walk. If you can't walk, crowd, but make sure by all the means you are keep going. So teachers, we have to pad up, we'll have to do extra efforts, and we have to keep moving so that the coming generations are definitely in safe hands. We need to prove that to the world. Having said this, I have small presentation for you all regarding some benefits which I'm going to share with you all. Uh, Allow me just a moment.
You are co-host.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, here we go. So about little bit about the online education. These are some facts that we are into the reality, that what are the impact of attendance, inertia of the student. Little bit I will talk about the ERL, FRL, and FTF. What are these mean now today? So attendance, definitely look at the attendance of the student or the teacher. The attendance all of a sudden raised to around 100%. 85 to 90 was minimum count every FTF time or normal mode, but 100%. I got to know, I got a shock when management asked me to verify the attendance of all the teachers, because they were forced to pay 100% salary to all the teachers. So they asked me verify, and then since it's online, this was one of the advantage to all the stakeholders or the beneficiaries, including management, including teacher, including students. The attendance was very nice all the time. Inertia of the student, initially when we started this online classes, more than teachers, students were very happy about the gadget use, about the mode of educations. And slowly when the teachers were trained, now both the communities are really very benefit from this technological tools. I'll tell you, since we are embarking on this technological tools, we have gone a little bit ahead also. We are using learning management system, which we can track the individual progress of the teacher and on the and of the students also. There are different models which we have designed, something called elective remote learning. So another one is called full remote learning, and third one is face to face, which is very minimal now. Face to face means the child is present in the school physically, which is only 2 to 3% of the whole school. Okay, now this impact how it turn, initially, yeah, there could be another reason that parents are worried about. Okay, yes, they are worried about situation and then COVID around the world, but if given an opportunity, parents are saying no, we will continue with this mode of education. In this part of the world where I am belong to, like UAE, the government has taken a different stand over here. They made sure that almost all the students of this country, whether it is expat, resident, or their own, they will get all the facility to have the online education. They made sure they had a survey, they provided internet, they provided the devices, but they made sure within a small stipulated time, they provided all the facilities. So that's how it came to the picture. Now there are some advantage which I were working on this. They work from anywhere. It's not for the teacher, it's for the student also. One of the few percentage of the students, they went back in India, but all the classes, all the education was imparted simultaneously to them. So now the physical presence of the student was not that great impactful, but yes, They had all the entire knowledge. In fact, the examinations, everything was taken care. And same way, some amount of teachers also, they are not in country, but they are taking classes right from India or some other country, African countries. Those are the native countries are there. So teachers are in that country, but taking simultaneously classes. That is one of the advantage. So we need not to have the physical barrier, but yes, with the help of time difference, yes, we have executed that successfully. Then this is something called, in education sector, something very important, feedback, how the class is impacted. Now, having said this, we used to have very, formal way of correction and correct checking and all. But this is with the instantaneous remark, we can take the review of the lectures, how it is impacted, not only for the teacher benefits, but yes, for the students and for the management. So all the things are taken care properly when we have this system, which is called review lectures immediately. Normally, teacher you come to know after 45 to 50. Now, as a right a brigadier sir said, that you need to keep them engaged. Then you need to design in such a way that yes, they are replying on the spot. So we'll come to know, the teacher, as a teacher facilitator, will come to know how much impact your class is making, or you need to really change your strategies at that particular time. This is something related with the behavior of the student, that the students were imitating each other, and some student having the inferiority develop in their mind, they were not able to speak. Now this is less imitating. They can share their thoughts through the chat box, they can discuss actually, and teacher can have really one-on-one session with them if time permits, or as sir informed us about the breakout rules, we can be engaged with one particular group, and we can find out the outcoming from the student. If really they have potential, we can groom them. This is for my teachers. The online environment, students can, they have their own ideas. For example, if I give you all any kind of link and ask you all to research, that's immediately possible. I need not to wait you all to submit your research work till the time. Now we had a small exercise done for the same. We were asked to go on one website, give your opinion. Now students are developing their own skills in that way. There is no limitations, and there is no barrier of the time now, and we can get the students, those who are doing the work, immediately we can reward them, we can ask them how they need to be engaged more. Teacher, having said this thing, do you think that with this sort of facilities which we are offering to the student, they will be more engaged, or they will be more away from the education? Definitely they will be more engaged, because we are involving them. That's what the basic information, when we go on online, and when we try to discuss with the student, we involve them, they'll get a more time to develop their own skill, rather than physically being present around them and verify their work. Students are developing their own focus, their ideas are, now they are giving more other information about the websites or any other things which is impacting their continuous education. They're asking, actually this is my personal experience, when one of the class, when my teacher was teaching, and she had some twist at the time of lecture, and technical glitch was there. So student immediately informed, ma'am, you please do this way the procedure, your problem will be resolved. And this is what two-way learning, I was very impressed by that student call, and they were actually supporting the teacher when the teachers were very new to the system. And that way I come to know, okay, the students are not only they depending upon the teacher what they are guiding, but they are actually developing the different tools. For example, the annotations also. In this one, initially the teachers were not able to control the annotation, but then student informed, and this way you can control the annotations. There will not be any disturbance in the classes. So that way we have taken all the important ideas which were very useful from this young generation. Group communication, of course, this is another advantage for the online teaching. You can actually break the different rooms, and you can ask the student, have their group communications, give their own idea on the different areas, and then the students can be groomed in their own personality development skill, and they can come up with a very bright idea in coming times. These all things are actually leading all this young generation at a different level. I was very impressed when my grade 3, when my grade 5 students were coming with the different softwares and asking us, okay, can we include this type of the software so that it will be easy for them to take a part and present their things. So it was given idea from this young generation only. Flexible learning schedule. Now take example of this particular session also. I have attended this session particularly from UAE. There is no such a barrier. Now one of my teacher is taking classes from India at this UAE timings, and the teacher is delivering very effectively classes without any flexible without any scheduling problem. Teacher is need to be present online, and teacher is delivering the class as it is scheduled over here. Excuse me. Okay, can I ask Nishi not to please annotate on the screen? Oh, yeah. Of course, for the management, this was the cost effective also. Transportation, logistics, building maintenance. Student can use actually digital version of the books. That was the cost reduced for the student. We have introduced e-library, e-excursions also are there. So all these things were cost effective. In all these things were positive aspect of what we started as a online teaching. Having said this, diversity was one of the factors. The traditional students are often limited to the course, but now if you see some of the students, uh, those who are traveling or those who are in different part of the world, they are also easily able to join the classes, and all these things are achieved with the help of these technological tools. uh, that's all. These are the advantages, but my view regarding although we are looking at the positive aspect of it, there was some serious concern. First of all, I was not able to gain or understand the sympathy of the student or give the sympathy to the student. Some emotional exchange was not done, and this area I started feeling how I can impact on the well-being of the student. Thanks to the system, again we have come across the solutions. Teachers well-being, the students well-being, all these programs are coming up, and the sharing of the thoughts, sharing of their feelings, sharing of their creativity is being now
But I'm not
well-being.
up to
So all this
1 hour yet.
way, if we see, there are there are more advantages in the coming time too. I look at it very positively. If any questions, else I'm done now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deep. It was really very heartening and motivational that how you are getting 90 to 100% attendance. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Here we are struggling so much. I can't tell you. In low budget schools, 10 to
Yeah.
15%.
Oh my God.
In all other schools, 50 to 60%.
Oh.
That is the attendance. But you are getting 80 to 90%. Really,
90
it's
to
amazing.
100%, ma'am. Actually, 90 to
100% actually. Oh my God, really. It's
Uh,
wonderful. Credit goes to all the residents and the ministry as well.
Definitely, ma'am. Actually, here the major role done by the ministry at the initial stage only. They have made sure that all the students will have at least one gadget. They actually had carried out the survey. They find out where are the debugs were there. They actually provided support wherever it was required. So that was major role. At the same time, teachers were trained, and then the journey is now, ma'am. It's a great success. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And now
Thank you.
we'll take the question answers at the end because our distinguished speakers are already with us. And now I am going to invite Miss Deblina Saha, who is the Department Chair of Science, Stanford American International School, Singapore. So may I request Ms. Deblina Saha to kindly join us here and tell us about what's happening in Singapore as far as digital learning is concerned. Yes, Deblina Saha.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm from Singapore. I'm Deblina Saha. I'm the head of science department for Stanford American International School. It's really an honor to be sharing my thoughts and ideas and my experience that I have achieved in Singapore with you all. And I would like to especially thank you, Dr. Sadia, for giving me this opportunity to able to share my thoughts and ideas, as I have mentioned before. So please allow me to share my screen.
Yes, I already made you co-host.
Thank you so much. Sorry for the technical glitch. I'm not 100% sure. It's not letting me share my screen.
So no issues. If you want, you can just speak and you can share your experience with us.
Sure.
No, you can just do it once again, Halima.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so a little bit about myself. I am a teacher of biology, and I am a teacher. Biology, and I teach IB curriculum, which is international.
Yes, I'm sorry, Deblina. Now I have muted everybody. Now you can unmute yourself, please. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. So, right, I'm a teacher of biology in Singapore, and this is my 6th year in Singapore. It's really, truly an amazing experience here. And I'm also a biology teacher for International Baccalaureate. So we call it IB, education as an acronym. And I'm also the department chair of science, which is truly an amazing experience to be able to be based in Singapore. And my entire educational career, my education was based completely in India. And now when I compare the teaching experiences and also the teaching learning experience that our students go through every day, it's truly amazing and very different from how we got the education back in India. But again, with all due respect, I will say we are doing our job the best at this point of time in such a crisis throughout the world. I think it's Indian education system, it has amazing potential. So saying that, I would like to get started with some concepts. And I really do have 3 big questions that I really want to pose this evening. How do we design student-centered course and learn better from each other? I truly believe there's so much potential among us as educators. So we really don't feel like going out, and it's better to always learn from each other. And how do we prepare our young students for the future? As change in our life is so obvious, and change in education is also so constant nowadays. So how do we prepare our young ones, our students, for their future? And the third question that I would like to pose, that how do we change or modify our techno-pedagogical skills? Of course, we have a lot of things in our teaching toolbox, but how do we improvise those? How do we modify those in this era or in this ever-changing world, not only in our life, also in the teaching, learning, education? Moving on, so this will be the 3 big questions that I would like to focus this evening. Moving on, a brief introduction. Of course, we all know what digital learning is. Personally, my main focus when I talk about digital learning is assessment and tutoring. And by tutoring, I mean one-to-one tutoring. Are we giving students enough opportunity in this distance learning era? And instruction, are we creative enough as educators so we can provide them with enough opportunity where they can be successful and we meet their personalized need? So to me, digital learning, it's not only about giving our students a computer or a phone, a smartphone rather nowadays, or an iPad or any desktop. Are we using those meaningfully and impactfully? Is that making a huge impact in our students' teaching and learning? Are they using those with digital learning and with all the online learning ethics? Are they learning those? So these are the things that always comes to my mind when I talk about digital learning and how with this ever-changing world, and it has become so important to talk about nowadays. So Dr. Sadia has asked me to give a brief idea about how Singapore is coping up with digital learning and how the digital learning is working or what is not working in Singapore. I mean, considering Singapore, it's such a technologically sound country. Yes, wherever we go, we have Wi-Fi connection, but do we use that meaningfully? So before I give you a brief introduction on how Singapore is doing in terms of using the technology, I want to really briefly go over what does it really mean learning using technology and learning through technology, and which one is more meaningful for our students. So as you can see on the slide, learning using technology is when technology is being used as one method among many other methods during teaching learning. Of course, maybe all the educators now who are joining me, maybe in our mind, we're thinking, yes, of course, we use digital learning, we use technology. Maybe I'm a science teacher, so maybe I use simulation, maybe I show my students a lot of videos. But is that digital learning in a true sense? Maybe not. So that leads us to the next idea, which is learning through technology. So as goes the definition, technology is the sole conduit in this case through which the student receives instruction and communicates with his or her instructor or teacher or their educator. Again, the question here is learning through technology also the best possible way in this given context to support our students? But yes, of course, you might be thinking, how about we combine learning using technology. At the same time, we combine learning through technology. So we follow a hybrid model. My perception, working in an international school with 67 nationalities of students and 60 plus nationalities of teachers, it's really your call as an educator. You as an educator will know the best, what is the best possible way to support your students or to justify your area of discipline or to justify your teaching learning. Okay, now allow me to share Singapore's education system and how it has embraced and also has gone through a huge process of evolution. As you can see, like many other different countries, Singapore has going through industrialization at the very early stage, and eventually, of course, the focus shifted and it became skills intensive, eventually knowledge-based or aspiration-driven. But I'm so proud to say now, because of course I work in Singapore, Singapore now, the centerpiece of Singapore's education system is innovation. And of course, what comes with innovation or what made Singapore government or the ministry to consider innovation as the core, as the centerpiece? It's all about digital learning. And Singapore government has harnessed digital learning so well. Whenever we visit schools, whenever be it a public school, be it a private school, be it an international school, it is very visible that digital learning is happening. Digital learning is taking place. Saying that, there are struggles. And Singapore is still trying to cope up with the struggles, still trying to come up with solutions to help solve those troubles or those problems. Now, when I say digital learning in the context of Singapore government, and in my work experience in Singapore for the last 6 years, the key guiding principle has always been pedagogy-led. No matter what, no matter how much digital learning or no matter how much tools we're using or ICT we are using in class, it has always been led by pedagogy. and can be supported by appropriate and judicious use of technology. And I will walk you through what are the steps Singapore government, as well as the public schools and private schools, collaboratively, they have followed. The first and foremost focus was building capacity. As I mentioned before, we as educators, we as leaders have so much potential. We really don't need to reach out to any other XYZ body to develop our skills. We can always reach out to a colleague who is probably sitting right next to you to help you learn and get better in your professional way. So building capacity is what Singapore government and international schools, they have focused on. And not only teachers, also empowering leaders. The second one that Singapore government and again international schools have focused on is integrating digital learning in school curriculum. I would like to elaborate on this a little bit. What does it mean integrating digital learning in school curriculum? Again, not providing a student with a computer or a desktop or maybe an iPad. It is a digital integration in a true sense. In my school, when we practice, because I have the privilege of being a science teacher, yes, I will say that, I'm a proud science teacher, integrating digital learning seems to be much more easier. But not only that, we use a lot of important thing is assessment tool. We all do majority of the times online assessment. Are those valid assessment? Of course, those are valid assessment. And that also helps us to track a student progress. We are a school, and like many other schools in Singapore, we are data driven. So we get reports, we evaluate the student work, and of course, go back and try to fix our curriculum and try to fix our assessment. So it truly is a cycle. It truly is an inquiry cycle for teachers and educators and leaders. And the third one of the guiding principle was also encouraging innovative digital learning practices in school. And here I would like to mention that leadership plays a huge role. Leadership needs to be more proactive leadership and more transforming leadership. I do head the department for science, so I do practice, I model practice how integrating digital learning will look like in a normal class or in a regular day-to-day teaching. So encouraging innovative digital learning practices in school is important, and I will say we all are leaders. It's not a top-down, it's not a bottom-up leadership. We all are leaders, and if you're in a leadership position, I will truly highly encourage you to develop capacity among your team members and also develop capacity and empower your teachers, empower your team members so they all feel equally valued, and that will anyway develop the quality of the work we do every day. Moving on. So of course, there are a lot of things on the slide, but there are a lot of highlights as well. And those are the areas that we always focus when we talk about digital learning. So this is the journey to successful implementation of digital learning. And this is not only true in the context of Singapore, this is also true in the context of my school and many other international schools in Singapore. As I mentioned just before, leadership team. Leadership is so important in harnessing digital learning, and also provide teachers opportunity to meaningfully plan and embed. Take a minute, think about how many of our planning time is really provided to teacher to meaningfully collaborate and meaningfully integrate and embed digital learning. Do we really use time that way? Third one is digital learning infrastructure supports learning anytime and anywhere. So I think this is a little bit of recap of what just Mr. Suryavanshi mentioned. So learning is anytime, anywhere. In 21st century, students should have the freedom. Students should have the opportunity to learn at their own pace from any time and anywhere. And given the current condition, the COVID condition, we in Singapore are back in school, but many other countries in the world, they're still doing online learning. So students should be able to learn from anywhere and anytime. And trust me, this increased student empowerment. We want students to take ownership of their learning, and this does it. Quick example, we use digital textbooks, and the digital textbooks has a lot of digital worksheets and questions. So we, in the back end, track how many times a student is going through those chapters and who are all practicing questions based on a topic. So this is how we use data in the back end as a teacher to track. So this is also students taking ownership of their own learning. And lastly, to close the loop, self-assessment. We are not perfect, as I mentioned before. Yes, Singapore has a lot of amazing technology. It's a technology hub, but Singapore still goes through a process of self-assessment of the implementation, and we still strive to improve our digital learning. I won't take much time. Moving on. So as I mentioned before, transformational and proactive leadership is so important. My idea, and again, this is my perspective, and this is what I have learned being in a leadership position, and this is my observation. This is how I work with my team and bigger teams. Having a clear vision and achievable goals help you as an educator, also as a leader, so much. And secondly, I would also like to mention appropriate resources. I know financially, there are a lot of constraints that we work with. Again, using it, maximizing it, that does help. And the third one is do develop a culture of care. That eases so much tension. Relationship building in this crisis, we are all going through this crisis at the same time, all together. Relationship building is so important, and just be the leader. I mean, just be the practice the things that you want your team members or you want your team to showcase. So that's why I mentioned leaders as mentors for digital learning. We all go through, even me as a leader, I go through mentorship. Leaders as facilitators and collaborators, maybe if you head a department or if you are a principal, if you are a coordinator, maybe have some time to get involved with the small group departments or the small group meetings that take place in your institution. It does make a lot of difference. It does change the group dynamics, and you get a better understanding what is working in the ground level and what is not working. Okay. And finally, Singapore and my school, we are moving towards something called Icd-Infused curriculum. And that is our goal, that is our focus for digital learning. What does it mean to be Icd-Infused curriculum? I'm a big fan of Tucker, so I have read a lot of articles. So I have a little quote from some of his work. So online technology provides more student-centered and individualized instruction. Again, we are trying to move away from front loading of information. Let it be student-led. Let it be collaboration among students rather than we as an educator telling them, do this, do that. And of course, what allow us to do it? Digital learning. There are some tools. Of course, Mentimeter is a great tool. We use a tool called Padlet. It is very useful. It's really useful for doing some group discussions. And it's like a post where students post their opinion. Give students a platform or an opportunity so that their voice is heard. They feel meaningful. They feel value in your class. Padlet, Mentimeter, we also use word cloud. That is also a great tool. We use a lot of digital texts. We use something called Kahoot, which you probably all are familiar with. We use quizzes. So there are a lot of tools that we use to embed digital learning truly and meaningfully in our class. And of course, as you can see, the centerpiece here, shifting the paradigm. Are we shifting the paradigm? I think if we are trying to make our kids successful for 21st century, we need to shift the paradigm now. And we need to give them better collaboration, of course, through digital learning platform. We need to give them flexibility in their learning pace. Not all students learn at the same pace. We as an adult don't learn at the same pace, neither do the students. Now, multiple ways to demonstrate knowledge and understanding. It is not always a written test. It could be a skit, it could be a video, it could be a drama, it could also be a journal, it could be a diagram, it could be many different ways that they can showcase their understanding. And it's not only what actually helps us to do this, digital learning. Hold student accountable. They should take ownership. They should be feeling proud about what they're learning. And of course, accessibility. Digital learning, in my opinion, is such a tool that gives students opportunity to learn from anywhere and everywhere. And it's not only meant for one special category of student. I hate to say this, but they are high achievers. How about the students who are low performing? Give them tiered text. We use Britannica. We use Schoology. So those help us to dilute the text to their level. And of course, a better collaboration. You will get we always get amazing student work when they collaborate. And how do they collaborate? Google document. Google is the easy solution. Make them collaborate on Google Slide or Google document, or maybe a Padlet. And the amount of work and the quality of work students have produced during this entire COVID time was amazing. We never felt constrained that, whoa, we are missing on so much time, we won't be able to finish the syllabus. We never felt that constraint. It was really smooth for us. And of course, what's the future for us now as an educator?
May I request you, Deblina, to wind up, please? Because
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the future is we need to take risk as an educator and keep on experimenting with technology and pedagogy. Thank you so much for your time and listening to me.
Thank you very much. It was really wonderful. You deserve a big round of applause. And now, since we are running short of time, as we know that we already exceeded by 10 minutes. So, and you have mentioned about so many apps. I would like to give the practical experience of one of the app, but not now. Let me invite the next speaker. And then I request you to kindly stop sharing this so that I can invite the next speaker, Professor Agbo. Deblina ma'am, will you please stop sharing? Okay, thank you very much. So my dear teachers and my dear viewers, Professor Agbo is with us, and she has sent me a very long profile, but keeping the constraint of the time, I just want to read the last line that I liked very much, that Professor Agbo is from Nigeria, and her research interests are in instructional strategies, gender issues, the teacher and effective teaching, science beyond the classrooms. And she is the winner of many awards, and she is involved in many of the organizations, NTI, PSTAN, and she works for the institutions, for the universities, and for the NGOs. But this is very long. Can I stop here, Professor Agbo? And I request you to kindly please present your paper. Professor Agbo from Nigeria is with us. I'll make you the co-host so that you can very easily share. Yes, now you can share. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, good day. Can you hear me from there? Can you hear me?
Very well.
Yes, yes, we
Hello?
can hear you.
Yeah,
Yes,
very
yes,
well.
you are
Okay.
audible.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here today as a participant in celebrating the Teachers' Day. And I want to thank you. And I said, I bring you greetings from Nigeria. We are fine over here. And as you can see, I want to share with you today on digital learning and leadership in Nigeria. Okay, you will find out that we are talking about digital learning. What is it? The presenter just talked about it. It's learning from anywhere, anytime, at your own pace, and it also encourages learning style in the students. And you will find out that this digital learning is a form of instructional strategy that is dependent on digital tools and digital media. So we have it that in using, hello?
Yes.
Hello, okay. In using digital tools, you have different types in our classroom. You have the flip chart. You also have the adaptive learning. And I will be with you in a while. Just a minute.
Yes, now it's visible. You can go ahead. Now it's visible.
Okay. So in our country, we are having digital learning as an instructional practice. It helps students in making broad search to learning materials, and digital learning in this type of situation is not so easy because the infrastructure is not very supportive. And at the same time, the teachers themselves are still learning how to make use of this digital learning, because each time previously they have been restricted to using the traditional method. But as it is now, we can. So before the COVID situation, well, let me just talk. I don't know what is happening with my laptop. Before the COVID pandemic era, it was not the usage of digital tools was very, very low. But when it came to the COVID pandemic, we had no choice. Digital tools became a necessity and not a choice. So everybody has to go in a particular place. And I want to tell you that in Nigeria, we are not in school. Schools have not resumed. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Hello?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Schools have not resumed. Okay? Schools have not resumed. The government have kept the students at home. So many teachers and many parents are dependent on digital learning. And what we use mostly before the COVID time is that Nigeria integrated the digital tools into examination, and the type of examination is summative examination. At the end of their training, they were subjected to write online their examination. But when the COVID era came in, we are now all at home, and people have to look inward to keep their students online in the teaching. And so you will find out that most of these people that use online are the private universities, private schools, not even the government schools, because the government has not come out in a clear term what they want us to do with the teaching, whether it is compulsory to use digital learning or not. And as a result of that, teachers have not been trained. Most teachers are just struggling on their own to go on training so as to be able to use digital tools in teaching. So what I am saying now is that during the pandemic, you will find out that many schools, especially the private universities, started uploading their teaching materials online for the students to access. But mostly what is being used in Nigeria is the Zoom. The Zoom tool has been used even by the government themselves in their sitting. People like the Senate, the House of Reps, and the government officials, they have meetings from home using the Zoom. And also, we have Zoom for our conferences. And at the same time, these private universities have adopted a digital tool which is server-based, and they are using it in their teaching, where students participate, where the teachers teach, and the students submit their assignments and their tests online. There is even plan for digital virtual convocation, where students can do their graduation without even stepping into the school. And at the same time, we have different platforms where examinations could be taken. As regards the future, we see a time whereby Nigerians will come up, even foreigners will come up to register in our universities, where you have people using digital tools, where you can access your materials, and at the same time, you will be able to graduate without even stepping into Nigeria. That is what we are looking forward to. But the problem we have now is that in the primary schools, some private schools have decided to use digital tools, but the parents are complaining of finances, buying data, and at the same time, staying and homeschool their children. Some say they don't have time to homeschool their children. So using of digital learning is not very easy with us because we are still all at home. We are hopeful that in 2 weeks' time, all schools will come back to the normal environment. But as it is now, the government has not come out in clear terms that digital should be used, but private universities, private schools are now on their own, and they are trying to get in contact with the students. But what is mostly in practice is that the teachers will drop their assignments and the activities for the parents. They go to the school, pick it, homeschool their children. When they have done the assignment, they now submit the same thing in school. The teachers mark it, and then the feedback is given to the parents. And that is the one that we are using mostly here. But concerning the digital tools, is mainly Zoom, and at the same time, uploading materials in the net which we have. Thank you very much. If there is any
Thank you very
question.
much. Thank you very much. We can understand because all the countries have their own challenges, their own limitations, and their own facilities, and their mindset of the people. So we can understand. Even in our country also, there are people with different mindset. So may I request you, Agbo, so you just stop sharing so that I can invite the next speaker. Our next speaker is from USA, and she is Miss Ruha Shadab. Miss Ruha Shadab is joining us right now, and we all can understand the time difference. She is the time zone, we all can understand that, but still she has committed that she will be with us, and she is with us, and she is going to join us right now. And what happened, Madam Agbo? You are not able to stop sharing? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Now, let me invite Madam Ruha. And little bit about Madam Ruha, I'm going to tell you because I'm greatly impressed by this girl. I must say girl only. Ruha Shadab is a physician and a master's graduate from Harvard University. She practiced medicine in Delhi for a couple of years and then moved into public health, working with Prime Minister of India, chaired government think tank before starting at the Harvard Kennedy School in 2018. She has spent the summer of 2019 interning with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and right now she is the CEO of Led by Foundation. It's a foundation, is a leadership foundation that works for the Indian Muslim women, which provides experiential leadership to undergraduates and postgraduates, pair them with mentors from the community, and facilitate financial support for budding entrepreneurships. So I request Ms. Ruha to kindly join us, and on behalf of JAHAN-E and on behalf of SAET, I wholeheartedly welcome Ms. Ruha Shadab. Yes, how are you?
Perfect. All right, mic test, video check. Great. Thank you, Dr. Halima. Thank you for that introduction. Yes, it is pitch black outside. It's 5 a.m. in San Francisco right now. But I'm so happy to be joining all of you. And from wherever all of you are joining, also, thank you so much for taking out the time. Again, Dr. Halima, SAIT, JAHAN-E, thank you so much for organizing this. And also to my fellow speakers, Swarup sir, Bhasin sir, Suryavanshi sir, Saha ma'am, and Oniomo ma'am, thank you so much again. It was wonderful hearing all of you talk. So I'm going to keep it brief, just also cognizant of the time. So I will probably not take as much time as was allotted to me initially. What I want to talk about are two buckets. So I was till very recently a student, and now I am an educator, and I wanted to share my experiences from both of those buckets. But before I do that, I'd just like to reintroduce myself and echo a couple of things that Halima ma'am has shared. So I am a doctor by training, and like Saha ma'am, my education has been in India more or less throughout. I was born and raised in Saudi Arabia, but then studied in Delhi. That's where I did my MBBS degree from, and that's where I worked in public health as well as with the government of India before I started at Harvard in 2018, and I graduated only in May 2020. So the last 2 months of my education at Harvard was COVID compatible, so to say, and very digital. So I'd like to first talk about the bucket of my experience as a student. And this is again in two levels. One level is the pedagogy that I saw in the US. And the second is how we adapted at my university to becoming more digital. So let's talk about my experience as a student in the US. So I was going back to graduate school after around 4 to 5 years of work experience, and was going in for my master's in public policy because even during my MBBS days, I started finding a lot of interest in system changes and system issues. And I kind of felt that as a doctor, you're just putting a band-aid on what the real problem is, and social determinants of health and systemic changes is where you really affect health indicators at a large level. So that's what put me into public policy and why I went to Harvard. Now, the pedagogy at Harvard is what blew me away. There were three things about Harvard that blew me away: the pedagogy, the professors standalone, and the people or my classmates. And what it was about the pedagogy was that the teachers really made it seem like their life's job was to teach you and to explain it in nuggets and pieces that are understandable to you. So again, something that Saha ma'am had also earlier shared, that you've got to provide your learning nuggets in sizes that are chewable by different caliber of students. And a lot of support, a lot of tutoring was provided by the university itself to help you. Like I personally feel like it is hard to fail at that university because they provide you so much support. There were subjects that I struggled at, subjects that I excelled at, places that I struggled at, I had a lot of tutoring, places that I excelled at, I was the one tutoring. So that's something that was amazing. It also was a lot of group work. And the reason I bring that up is in the second half of my final semester, COVID had taken over the reins and we had moved to an entirely virtual teaching. I had fewer subjects, and during that time, one of, say, the two subjects that I was taking was by this fantastic professor of writing. Except this particular professor is also, I would say, like in their late 70s. So technology was obviously a challenge for them. And it was heartening to see how much effort our professors were putting into even just understand Zoom and the features that come with that. So it was heartening and interesting to see how teachers also had to adapt and they were learning in this process. We clearly saw a difference in the community building aspect of this virtual classroom experience. And by that, I mean that the virtual community was not created, or there wasn't a sense of camaraderie between us classmates taking this writing course in the absolute end of our 2 years at Harvard. And that's unfortunately how college or my master's program ended for us. I come into my second bucket that I wanted to share with you, which is also what Halima Ma mentioned about the Led by Foundation that I founded while at Harvard and now I run full time. So the Led by Foundation focuses on leadership development amongst high potential college going Indian Muslim women. The reason we focus on Indian Muslim women is many folds, everything from what the socioeconomic indicators show to what my own personal lived experience have been as an Indian Muslim woman and the dearth of mentors that I found. So that's what we're trying to address. The ultimate vision is to create an India that is socially inclusive and equitable. Our plan initially was to run a summer fellowship program where we select these Indian Muslim women and give them leadership training by Harvard faculty, MIT faculty, provide them access to mentors, and also support budding entrepreneurs through seed funding. Our plan for 2020 was supposed to be virtual even before COVID happened. Our plan for 2021 was not supposed to be virtual, but we've moved into a hybrid model. So for next year, we're going to have 20% of our classes in person, again, COVID permitting, and 80% virtual. The reason I share this background again with you is to link my experience in how there wasn't a virtual community created towards my final courses at Harvard and how that was actually the core tenet of the Led by Foundation. So at the foundation, what we've done is we're very confident of the fact that we've actually nailed what building a community in a classroom feels like. So after our fellows wrapped up their fellowship, we asked them how did they feel about this program. So instead of sharing a slide, I would instead like to share a video. I realized that there might be some lag, so it does have subtitles. Here goes.
The 3 months long fellowship by Led by Foundation has gained me friendship with 24 ambitious women. For me, it represents the power of human connections. It was also about shaping and creating leaders for tomorrow. And out came many dreams and the willingness to pursue them. My journey at the Led by Foundation has taught me to embrace all the different aspects of my identity. These aspects of my identity, Muslim, woman, judged so harshly, like a thing to be kept away, have found new friends. It has been the most motivating journey I've ever been on. A community of inspiring women, creating a safe space, nurturing each other. I'm proud to be a part of Led by Foundation.
So I share that because you see them talking about it being motivating, about there being a community, and all of that was entirely virtual. The way we managed that was by using all these tools that are already available. It was very, very labor and time intensive on part of the team. But just by making sure that the fellows were touching base with one another, that they were assignments where they had to meet each other, that they were taking ownership, again, another point mentioned earlier on, of tasks that were assigned to them, and also saw value in what was being taught, I think were some of the things and pillars that helped us create a virtual community. I'd also like to just shed light on a couple of other leadership angles that we addressed in this digital ecosystem of the Led by Foundation. So there are two other things that I wanted to point out was how does leadership training look like in this very digital age? Can it be achieved? It can very well be achieved, but it has to happen in an ecosystem with other like-minded people. Because leadership as it is about leading other people, so it cannot happen in isolation. And for people as part of this call right now and listening to us, if you are a participant or if you run any such fellowship programs, my limited experience would be that building a community is what is absolutely integral. And I would argue that this applies to not just these college girls that I work with, but also applies across schools and classrooms. And just thinking back to my experience also, right? What helped me get through class was having friends to your left, to your right, having that puzzle face every now and then. And all of that, recreating that virtually is really hard, but not impossible. The second thing I wanted to share is not necessarily directly related to digital leadership, but definitely being digital makes it easier. So, as we mentioned, saying the word leadership a little too many times, but one of the things that we do at the foundation is we have this 360-degree mentoring framework. So what happens is a fellow who is this high potential college going Indian Muslim woman. So picture her, so she's in the center. And she gets down mentored by industry experts and role models from her community. So on average, each fellow is getting down mentored by 6 industry experts. This fellow also needs to host one-on-one sessions with each of her co-fellows. So since they're 24, that means each fellow gets 23 hours of peer mentoring. So the third thing is what I really wanted to highlight is that each fellow needs to go back to their middle school or high school and find a minority girl to mentor her. And this is not so that this fellow is paying it forward while they're in the program, but so that the fellow can understand what getting up mentored is. And I highlight this for two reasons. One is that being digital made it easier because identifying such middle and high school girls was easier. There was no geographical barrier over there. And the second reason I highlight this is it's so important for the coming generation to have mentors who are younger than them. Because as you and I are experiencing, this world is in such a flux, and our lived reality, our workspace is changing so much that it's actually really helpful to have a mentor who's younger than you. So these are just some of the points I wanted to highlight. Looking forward to taking questions from the audience towards the end. And again, thank you, Dr. Halima. Back to you.
Thank you very much. It was a really very motivating journey. And I know that some of the girls who have been benefited by your this is led by your organization, they have shared me separately that it was really fantastic experience. So thank you very much. And there is a slight change in the program that we were supposed to invite, I was supposed to have my session, but instead of having my session, since our chief guest for the day is already with us, Mr. Anilswarup ji has just joined us. So I would like to request Anilswarup ji to kindly enlighten us with his golden words. Anilswarup ji is an Indian author, and I have read his book, Not Just a Civil Servant. And this book is really fantastic. And he is former IAS, and he is going to share, I hope, that some of his experience as IAS, and he was the education secretary as well. So with the lots of respect and regards, and with the gratitude from the bottom of my heart, I would like to invite Janab Anilswarup ji. Something I'm not able to do now. I'm not able to stop. Just a minute. I'm sorry for the disturbance. I think I have mistaken Anilswarup ji, but I have seen him joining us.
His name is as Swarup. He is here. He's writing in the chat box that he needs to be unmuted.
Yes, hi, sir.
Okay, I think you have unmuted me.
Yeah.
I am very much here. And what a pleasure it is to
Thank
be
you
amidst
very
you
much.
all once again. Always a pleasure to be amidst teachers who hold the primary responsibility of creating a future, whether in this country or anywhere else in the world. As school education secretary, when I joined in 2016, this is the first lesson that I learned. I was aware of the fact and the role that the teacher had played in my own life. But as school education secretary, I came to discover what role can teachers play in the lives of children in all and for the future of the country. I'm convinced now that all those countries that are doing well are those where school education is good, because that's where the foundation of a child is built. And it took me no time to start believing very clearly that the pivot of school education is the teacher. And so I'm glad that teachers are being recognized today. And I'm also glad that they are being recognized for the technology part. Both are extremely, extremely important. For me, as I said earlier, teachers like at the pivot of school education, because it's right in the beginning that the true socialization of a child happens in a school where I personally remember in the beginning of my life when I went to school, how much a teacher influenced me. In fact, on some occasion, I used to see some parents used to come to school to tell the teacher, to tell their own son or daughter as to what they should do. The confidence or the belief or the trust that parents had in teacher. Of course, things are changing now. Now when I see parents much more overbearing than my parents were, or probably parents of my generation were. Today, the parents are overindulgent, but that creates an additional challenge on the part of the teachers to handle not only children, but also parents. So a double credit to them. So I have also believed that the one way of improving the quality of education and teachers is to encourage good teachers. Can we get role models in teaching fraternity, which they indeed are? What we really need to do is to recognize those role models so that other teachers who are probably not as committed to the job, look at those people and then think in terms of greater commitment. So once again, I'd like to compliment and congratulate the organization for recognizing teacher, because that will actually induce others also to perform well. I was not exposed to school education apart my own school education in my career. So when I did become school education secretary, there were myriads of problems in India about school education. The learning outcomes were coming down, and I didn't really have a clue, so to say. So I traveled around the country. I visited 24 states of the country in the first 3 months. Unlike a Secretary of Education, Government of India, I traveled quite a lot, and I traveled to interior areas. But I must narrate one incident to you, which is etched in my memory and finds place in a recently released book of mine, Ethical Dilemmas of a Civil Servant. I walked into this government primary school, two-room school, which I was told did not have electricity. And this was in a tribal area, in an interior area. So it was not very surprising that it didn't have electricity. So when I walked into that classroom, I discovered that every child had a tablet. Now, since today we are recognizing technology also, I'm giving you an example where technology was involved, and every child had a tablet. So I was a bit shocked, pleasantly shocked. I asked the teacher, Sandeep Good, this school doesn't have electricity. How do you charge these tablets? So he took me around the school and showed me a foldable solar panel through which he was charging the batteries, and through batteries he was charging the tablets. The next obvious question was, where did you get the money to buy so many tablets? About 50 children there. So he told me his own story. He told me when he came to the school, there were about 40, 50 children. Quite a few of them didn't come to the school. And those that did were not interested in learning. So he had a second-hand laptop. So what he did was he used to download educational videos where he stated there was internet available. So he used to bring to the school and play those videos. And these children used to congregate around him and listen to it very intently. About 2 months down the line, 20 parents came to the school asking him a very funny question. They asked him, earlier the children never wanted to go to the school. Now they run to the school in the morning. What have you done? So the teacher explained to them that he was playing those videos and probably that was attracting the children. And getting this feeling that these parents were interested, he requested those parents to contribute 500 rupees each. Now, these were poor parents, but for their children, they contributed 500 rupees each. And Sandeep Gund brought 2 tablets, attached them to his laptop, made these children into 3 different age-wise groups, and started working on them. This passion of the teacher, Sandeep Gund, was traveling around. So one day, a CSR funding agency and an NGO visited his school in Pastepada, and they were very impressed with what Sandeep Gund was doing. So they donated money to buy these tablets as well as a smart screen. Around which time I visited the school, and I was also very impressed. So what I did was I took a photograph with Sandeep Gund and tweeted it. Suddenly he became a local hero. So all the adjoining schools teachers started visiting like a pilgrimage to the school to understand what this teacher was doing. They also felt inspired and they started doing something in their own way. In between, I met the President of India, Mr. Kovind. He had just taken over as president in a different context altogether. So I narrated this wonderful story to him. There was some time available, so he was also very impressed. So I told him, would you like to meet that teacher? Would you like to meet Sandeep Gund? Yes, he said, why not? So I got Sandeep Gund over to Delhi. He met Mr. Kovind, the President of India. A photograph was taken. Sandeep Gund becomes a national hero. But this is not the end of the story. The Pastepada model of using technology for school education has now been replicated in more than 50,000 schools of Maharashtra. So this is what a teacher, an inspirational teacher, could do. So why I'm narrating this story today? Because the teachers that you're recognizing today, I'm sure they will also have some very wonderful stories to tell. And why is it necessary to tell this story? It is necessary to tell these stories because there is a general cynicism around that not much can happen. What we have to demonstrate to those cynics is that in these very set of circumstances, there are so many teachers who are doing so wonderfully. Can't we learn from those teachers? If these people can do good work in these very set of circumstances, why can't others do? You know, normally our approach is to blame the set of circumstances. In UP, we have this couplet, Umr bhar yahi bhool karta raha ghalib, dhool chehre pati aina malta raha. Now, those from not in this country will not understand what I've said. The basic meaning of this couplet is that the problem lies with you, not with others. So if you don't blame others for what you are today, you can improve. And that is what people like Sandeep Gund demonstrated. In fact, based on my experience and what I saw there, I have started a movement called Nexus of Good. The idea of this movement is to identify good work, to understand good work, to recognize good work, to replicate good work, and to appreciate and scale good work. Now, I'm so glad what you're doing is in the light of Nexus of Good. We need to recognize good work. There's a lot of cynicism around. Everyone feels the world is coming down. It is not so. In these set of circumstances, people are doing wonderful work. So my compliments to you that you are doing what you're doing. God bless all of you. Please continue with this momentum. My compliments to those that you're rewarding. And my also compliments also to those who are going to feel inspired as a consequence of this reward. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. It is really very inspiring. And it's always an honor and pleasure to listen to you, sir. Your words are always very precious. And within a few minutes, we are going to have the felicitation of the awards. And one more good news for the teachers, that one more great personality is going to join us for 5 minutes and directly from CBSE. So I'll just inform you once he joined us, so that if before joining he changed his mind, or if something happens, then it should not be embarrassing. So that's why I'm not announcing the names, but he will be joining us. And then our chief guest, Anilswarup ji, and the dignitary from the CBSE, both are going to felicitate the teachers. So now we have come to the end. Only just one last presentation is left. I'm not going to take much of your time. I'm just going to give some hands-on experience to the teachers, those who have joined us today, because I know they all are digitally literate, but still, you know, there are certain limitations, because when we were going through the videos of the teachers sent by them, we found that some of them are using the platform in different way. They are just making their videos and uploading on the YouTube, or sometimes they are making the videos and sending on the WhatsApp. So there are certain very useful apps available. So they have to make the best use of those apps. So before that, let me just start with the couplets of Allama Iqbal. सितारों से आगे जहां और भी हैं, अभी इश्क के इम्तिहान और भी हैं, कनात न कर आलमे रंगो बूपर चमन और भी आशियां और भी हैं, तू शाही है परवाज है काम तेरा, तेरे सामने आसमां और भी हैं, गए दिन के तन्हा था मैं अंजुमन में, यहाँ अब मेरे राज़दां और भी हैं. So I can see that if we all work together, then the entire universe come together to help us. So I'm going to narrate the story of a princess, because I believe that if each one of us is a king and queen or a prince or princess. So this is the story of a princess. The princess was very happily living in the fairyland or a dreamland for many people. Then what happened that the princess was supposed to leave that fairyland or the dreamland for some reasons, and then she entered into the COVID situation. Now what to do in the COVID situation? Now here we cannot move out, we cannot interact with the people, we don't have the schools open, we don't have the organizations open. Then sitting in the house, just idle, not doing anything. And when she was working somewhere outside, then she was having the full team, the IT team was there, the personal secretary was there. And then there were many people who used to help her to do the things in day-to-day basis. Then what happened that she thought that how I'm going to waste this time when we are in the house, we are not doing anything, but we have the capability and we have the passion to do something for the people. Then she has started a YouTube channel. The name of the YouTube channel is JAHAN-E. And in the JAHAN-E, she started serving to all the community people. Like it was not only for one section of the society, it is for the children, it is for the women, it is for the teachers, it's for the common people, it's for the professionals, for everyone. She has started hosting the programs. And then Monday was fixed for the teachers, Tuesday was fixed for the book lovers, Wednesday was fixed for the women, Thursday was fixed for the parents, Friday is fixed for the small kids, and then Saturday is fixed for the people who are very fond of quizzing because they like to be asked questions. So in Motivate Million Teachers is the mission. For that, every Monday there is a program going on JAHAN-E when we invite the educators and they speak about how to be the effective teacher, and they always boost the morals of the teachers, and that is the mission, Motivate Million Teachers. Then in a Date with a Book, there is a book review presented by the book lovers for the book lovers, and every day we bring some new books, so that nowadays the people are so much into digital world that they have forgotten the reading habits. So that is the reason why we have brought this program every day at 6 o'clock in the evening. Then in the Nari Tere Man Ki Baat, we found that there are certain women, they are not very empowered, and they need some tips, they need some skills. And that's why we give them sometimes professional skills to them, sometimes just motivational talks. And in this way, we take care of the Nari Tere Man Ki Baat. Inside that, we take care of the needs of the women. Like this Wednesday is especially dedicated for justice for Manisha. So we are going to talk about Manisha. We are going to talk how we can handle such situation. Then Thursday we have for the parenting and is an art. And then Mini Teacher is a program where the student act like a teacher, small kids, primary children. And in this way, we are boosting their confidence. And the Purple Book is a quiz program. Then apart from that, she started organizing lots of competitions like Mere Desh Ki Mitti, patriotic song, Karat competition, essay writing, innovation challenge, Kavita recitation, devotional song competition, me and mom quiz. So many competitions have been already organized, and it's ongoing process. Then she started organizing lots of webinars, because this was the only medium available with us that where we cannot meet directly to the people, so we can meet online. So upskill of the teachers was organized. Then international webinar on early child care and education was organized. Then 5 days teachers training program was organized. International webinar on financial management was organized, because we feel that during COVID-19 the people are struggling with the finances. Then now we are organizing a Start Digi Teachers Award and international webinar on digital learning. Now coming to the earning model, then what is the earning model? If these things she is doing for the people, for the community, then how she is surviving? Because we need money for the survival. Without money, we cannot exist in this world. So the earning model is that teachers training programs she organizes, then online teaching, because there are many schools they who cannot afford online teaching. So their children are roaming around. Their children are in the need of searching that where they can get the knowledge online. So you will find many students, if you are advertising yourself that, okay, I'm available for teaching such and such subject to such and such children. So you will find that many people are going to approach you. And then students skill and personality development program. And then the finally co-organizer of the online events. Like there are many people, they don't know how to organize the events. There are institutions, there are colleges, there are schools, there are NGOs. They want to organize online programs, but they are unable to do that because they have technology limitations. So in this way, she is very easily helping them in organizing the events, and then she is charging for that. So this is the earning model. Now you know how the small story of the person I have narrated to you of the princess. So it is not very difficult because we just need a laptop with the internet. We just need Zoom, and professional Zoom is better for this because you need not to have to switch on after 40 minutes. So that is going to create hindrance. So anyway, we have to take professional, like we have to pay for that, and then we have to take. And then quizzes app, Kahoot app, and Mentimeter app that already sir has mentioned, Brigadier sir has already mentioned with us. And then the last thing that is very, very important, that she continues learning. It's not that she has just stopped learning and whatever I know, I am going ahead with that. That is going to the stagnate. That is the burnout. If we want to go far ahead, then we have to continue learning. And I'm very much thankful that Brigadier sushilbhasin's course I am doing, like I am attending the class. So why I have narrated this small story, because I have found the teachers during this COVID-19, they are struggling to do something, but they are unable to do. Please, my dear teachers, just it requires little effort, and you can earn, you can do, you can satisfy yourself, you can do everything what you want in life. So this is just a starting, a very short story I have narrated to you because I know that we are already getting late. So at the end, I would like to say these words of Robert Frost, that these are my favorite words. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So before I conclude, just let me give you the experience of one app, because one already you have done Mentimeter with the sir. Now I'm going to give you the experience of one more app so that you can do with your children inside the class, and then very easily you can see that how nice that is. And that app is Quizzes app. So we are going to have quizzes here. Just give me 1 minute time. I'll take you to the quizzes. Yes, here we are. Can you see my screen with quizzes app? Yes, Pooja, can you see my screen with quizzes app? Okay. So what you have to do is you have to just enter the code, whatever I am going to show here, you have to enter the code in the quizzes. Just open quizzes, and then you have to enter this code, whatever I am going to give you.
Okay.
147890 is your code. Please enter in the quizzes. Go on Google and write joinmyquiz.com, and there you will find they are asking for the code. You please enter this code 147890. Yes, Pooja has already joined. Sadhya joined. Very good. I want all of you to join maximum. As many as possible, please join. 5 have only joined. What about others? You are learning a new app. So please try for this. Go online. Okay, let me show once again to you.
Just go on Google and just type
Yes,
quizzes.
147890. Just go online, joinmyquiz.com, and then you enter 147890. I think we should start the quiz. Topper is going to be awarded. So you are going to see the questions on the screen, and there are 4 options. You have to select one option. These are the questions on the screen. You have to select one answer. All are related to digital learning that you have already seen in the presentations. It was already mentioned in the presentation. Nazra is on the top right now, then Sharika, then Nafisa, then Mahbub Begum, Gulerana, Pooja. "35 have joined. Wonderful. Yes, but I need more. I wanted 100%. The topper is going to be awarded. All the questions are related to digital learning. Anyway, now let me see, because some of you have already completed. So let's stop it here. And we can get that who is the topper. We can get the result on the spot. This is very useful for the classroom. And whatever you teach in the class, you prepare your quiz well in advance. And immediately you can announce the result in the class itself. 42 have joined. Very good. So this app is my favorite app. Whenever I take any class, I must use this app. So I have ended this because we are running short of time. But anyway, you understood that what is the concept. Mahbub Begum is the topper and Nafisa second. And here you all can see your score. See, in this way, we can show to the children in the class that how they have done. All these pinks are wrong and all these greens are correct. And if we want to go into the depth, we can see each and every question, how the people have done. So thank you very much. I just wanted to give you some practical knowledge that how I am surviving during COVID-19. So I request all my teachers that you can do very well if you are just changing your mindset. Just you think that this is our new normal and we are going to be like this. So now we have to survive in this situation. One thing is mindset, and second thing is develop your skills. Just try to learn as much as possible. Every day I'm also learning new things. So thank you very much. That's all. And now we have come to the presentation of our mementos to the winners. This is the long awaited moment. Anilji, please tell me how we are going to do this. Anilji, how we are going to do this? I just share the certificates and announce the names, or how? Brigadier sir must be having idea. Unmute yourself, sir, first.
Yeah, what did you say? I didn't follow.
I am asking that now this is the time when we are going to award.
Yeah.
Okay, give the award to the teachers. So how we'll do this? Because we have to just share the certificates. So can I share the certificates?
How do you make a PPT and share that screen? I
It's
don't know
there.
because
PPT is there. That's there.
Okay, then share the PPT and then ask every teacher to come and keep presenting the certificates or the awards. If you had told me yesterday, we would have told you some very good idea. I was saying that, but not.
Actually, one idea is in my mind that I can ask the receiver to come here and we can have they can click the photograph with us.
Yeah, okay, do that.
This is one of the idea with me. So, but that will take too much time because there are 29 people. Anyway, I'm going to announce the names, and those whose names I'm announcing, please just switch on your video.
Who already switch on?
Pooja is already there.
Pooja has been waiting for this right from the moment we started. I could see.
Yes, that is the reason why Pooja is here. May I request all the winners to kindly come on the screen first. Let us see your faces. Then afterwards, I can share your certificates. Yes, all the winners, please come on the screen. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. More people are there. Please join us. More people. So now we can click the photograph and then we can start sharing. And I request everyone to kindly clap because you all are unmuted now. So you all can unmute yourself and then clap for the receiver. So congratulations to Ruqayya Taskeen. Congratulations to Ruqayya Taskeen.
Pom, 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 pom.
Moving ahead. Congratulations to Ritu Walia.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, teachers.
Well done. You deserve it.
Thank you, ma'am.
And then after Ritu Walia, congratulations to Arshi Haq. Congratulations. And congratulations to Bimlesh Kumar Singh ji. Bimlesh Kumar Singh, congratulations to you. Congratulations to Sheikh Ghaus Pasha. Congratulations. You have done a great job. Congratulations to M.A. Nafisa Parveen. M.A. Nafisa Parveen, congratulations to you. Congratulations to Anita Maria David. Congratulations. God bless you. Congratulations to Farzana Sultana. Congratulations to Asma S.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to Dr. Sanjay Kumar Jha. Dr. Sanjay Kumar Jha, well done. Congratulations to Jabina Tabassum. Very well done, Jabina Tabassum.
Jazakallah, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Congratulations to Mahboob Begum. Very well done, Mahboob Begum.
Jazakillah, ma'am. Jazakillah.
Welcome. Congratulations to H. Nasreen. Very well done, H. Nasreen.
Jazakallah khaira, ma'am.
You are most welcome, my dear. Congratulations to F. Farhana Begum.
Jazakallah khaira, ma'am.
You are most welcome. Take care. Congratulations to Razia Begum. We are proudly presenting to you. Congratulations to K.
Jazakallah,
Apri
ma'am.
Begum.
Jazakallahu khairan, ma'am.
You are welcome, my dear. Congratulations to S. Roshan. Very well done. Congratulations to Sharmila Bano.
Jazakallah khairan.
Congratulations to Nasreen Bano. Very well done.
Jazakumullah khairan, ma'am.
You are welcome. Congratulations to Hajira B. Well done, Hajira B. Congratulations to Muhammad Shafi Sharif. Well done, Shafi Sharif. Congratulations to Dr. Sayyid Asaf Ali. Well done, Sayyid Asaf Ali. Congratulations to Nishi Sharma. Very well done, Nishi Sharma.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Are you happy?
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you so happy?
Because this is my first award from the Star DG Teacher Award. This is the glad opportunity to me that I am participating in this and I've got the award also.
Have you ever given stars to the children?
Of course, ma'am.
So,
many times.
Same goes to you today. You see 3 stars are there in your certificate.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Congratulations once again. Muhammad Hassan Al-Hassani. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
God bless you. Have you given a star to the
Mabruk,
children?
Mubarak ho Mufti Sahab. Ameen, Gayyakum.
Congratulations to Alpana.
Mabruk.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very well done, Alpana.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Shadab Kamar. Well done, Shadab Kamar. Congratulations to Pooja Dhawan. She was waiting since morning for the award. Yes, Pooja. Pooja, where are you now?
Ma'am, thank you so much.
What, do you have to say something on receiving this award? Whom do you want to dedicate this award?
To you.
No. Then to everybody will dedicate me, then I will only receive the award. Dedicate to someone who have worked with you.
You are the one, ma'am.
So thank you very much, my dear teachers. And now this is the time when we are going to honor our speakers. But before that, let me just announce that have you filled your attendance link? Have you
Yes,
filled
ma'am.
the feedback link? Have you
Yes,
filled
ma'am.
the multiculturalism survey link?
Ma'am,
This
feedback link we didn't get.
one
Feedback link I didn't get.
feedback link is also in the chat only. If you go back and see the chat, you
Okay,
will
ma'am.
okay. But
Thank
now
you.
only you can see. And moving further to express our gratitude to the speakers who have spared their valuable time and efforts and energy. As always, Brigadier Sir said that time and energy is more precious than money. So moving to them, let me just present our token of appreciation for our guest for today, all the guest speakers. So first of all, let me express my gratitude and thanks towards our great leader, Mr. Anil Ji. If Anil Ji is here, kindly accept this token of gratitude from JAHAN-E and SAET. We are very much thankful for your gracious presence, and you have given us lots of suggestions. So thank you very much, sir, for your benign presence here. Now, Brigadier Sushilbhasin ji, the great leader, thank you very much for being with us, and you have spared your so many hours. I'm really very much grateful and impressed by your personality. And thank you very much. You are really a great leader. See, the award says that you are a Star Digi Leader Award. So you have been conferred with the Digi Award. ब्रिगेडियर सर कुछ बोलेंगे आप?
Yes, Dr. Halima, I am very, very excited to be here, and I've spent 2 wonderful hours with you all. Thank you for the value that you have packed up into ours today. And I think each of the speakers has contributed a lot. I'm very grateful to you for organizing this, because organizing an event like this also is a Herculean task. Congratulations for conducting it very well.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. It means a lot for us. Now, thank you to Miss Ruha Shadab. Thank you very much for your valuable words. And it was really, you are a fresher. You belongs to new generation. And if you are thinking for the people who are underprivileged, that's really a great thing. May God bless you, Miss Ruha Shadab. Mr. Ratandeep Suravanshi, thank you very much for joining us from Dubai. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. The honor is completely mine. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Okay, so now moving further, let me present my token of appreciation to Miss Deblina Saha. Thank you very much for being with us. Your presentation was really very rich presentation, I must say. It was full of insights of Singapore. And Ms. Deblina, I know that what is the time over there? It will be around 9 o'clock, but still you are with us. Thank you very much. And now moving further, Professor Agbo Felicia. Thank you very much for joining us. Professor Agbo, we can understand the Nigeria country and Nigeria's limitation, but still the people are trying their level best to do in the digital world. Thank you very much for giving us insight of Nigeria. Thank you very much. Thanks to me also, the princess. And with this, we come to the end of today's program. And may God bless you. And all the participants, all the teachers, it was really wonderful to have you here. I have narrated a small story of mine. So if I can do anything in the world, I think that everybody can do, because I am very ordinary person. And I have very ordinary person with less talent, but lots of ambition and passion. So be passionate. Remember us in your duas. Inshallah, we are going to do many such programs. And always my effort is to combine the experience and the fresh, both the people. Those who are inexperienced, they gain experience. And those who are experienced, they can share their experiences. So it was really a nice evening. Now may I request all the participants to kindly join us here on the screen so that we can have the group photograph. Everybody, please switch on your video. If you don't have any limitation, if you don't mind, then please switch on your video. If there is any limitation, then please leave it. More people, please join us for the group photograph. Join us, everybody. Yes, thank you very much. More people. Join us, please. And Mahbub Begum, please mail me your Paytm number, because last program also there were 3 people. I was supposed to send them the award, but only one has given me the number, Paytm number. Rest 2 have not given. Still, I have to search for them. Where are they? So Mahbub Begum, please send me you email your Paytm number so that I can send you your reward.
Yes, ma'am, inshallah.
Oh, Zoina, you are here, but Zoina, you are here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
I couldn't take part. I got really busy.
Oh.
But a few of my friends, they have participated. So I wanted to be here for them, and I want to be here for you to thank you for. And I'm also a creation of Halima ma'am. I have to say that very proudly. And yes, she is a super duper princess.
Thank you, Jabina ma'am.
So now that's all. More people are joining, or we can click the photograph now. I'll send you this photograph through the mail to you all, to all the participants.
Okay.
Now, if you are happy, then please show your happiness. Everybody show your happiness so that we can have the video also. Yes, pom 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 pom, everybody. Yes. Brigadier Sir's expression, pom 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 pom. Thank you very much. Really very nice to see you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Jazakallah khair.
Okay, God bless you. Thank you very much.
शुक्रिया जज़ाकुमुल्लाह बहुत उम्दा
Jazakallah,
प्रोग्राम
ma'am.
With this, we come to the end of today's program, and hopefully we are going to meet
Jazakallah.
again.
Jazakallah, Halima, ma'am.
Thank you.
Jazakallah khair.
Thank you, ma'am. Happy World Teachers Day to all of here, all the teachers.
Thank
Happy
you.
World Teachers Day.
So much, ma'am. Same to
Be
you, ma'am.
passionate, be creative, be innovative, be happy, be positive.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, then. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Bye,
Love you
ma'am.
all. My love to everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Jazakallah, ma'am.